What about the discovery, the awareness that there is a perfect red heifer in an area of the U.S., no one will say where it is, and that is needed as a purification for the third temple, which isn't built yet, obviously. And let me just play a real quick soundbite and get your response, because you have had some experience with Chaim Richman of the Temple Institute. This is a 40-second little soundbite.
Shalom, this is Yitzchak Ruvain of the Temple Institute in Jerusalem. I'm here with Rabbi Chaim Richman, the world's foremost expert on the red heifer in the English language. Rabbi, what are we looking at right here?
Yitzchak, we're looking at some exciting new footage that we have just received of a brand new red heifer that was born in the United States of America and is being raised as a red heifer according to the laws of Torah for the purpose of hopefully presenting her to the people of Israel for the role of cleansing in the building the third temple.
Bill, what is your experience with the Chaim Richman and the Temple Institute?
Well, they have been after a perfect red heifer for a long, long time. I worked with him and a cattleman from the U.S. I won't say where right now, just because of confidentiality reasons, but back in the early 1990 time, they were looking for a way to bring red heifer embryos and cattle to Israel in search of that perfect red heifer, and connected the cattleman and Chaim Richman with a banker in Dallas that was going to help facilitate this. And then they received a red heifer that I think her name was Betsy, that developed some white hairs.
Right.
I mean, they really thought they had the perfect red heifer, and it developed some white hairs, and it got a lot of international attention. And I think they're being more careful, and it sounds like Chaim is extremely excited about this red heifer they have in the United States that might meet the rabbinical requirements for that third temple. So I know most of the instruments, if not all of them, have been gathered. So I'm sure Chaim Richman is extremely excited.
Well, anytime we post anything about the red heifer on our Facebook, it just really lights up. There's just tremendous interest in it for some reason. And as you say, they've had them before. They developed some fur, that one white strand of fur, and they're disqualified. Is that right?
That's correct. Just a little bit of white fur was enough to disqualify Betsy,
That's
12,
right.
15 years ago, I think it was.
I read something in your newsletter, and folks, you can sign up for Koenig's Eye View from the White House at his website. Again, that's watch.org, watch as in watchman.org. You report on the fact that Bobby Jindal has made a statement, people are ready for a hostile takeover of Washington, D.C. Now, I don't do that kind of radio. I don't do the kind of sensational stuff that's certainly advocating or promoting, or I don't even talk that much about these kinds of issues. But when I see an article like this, and then you happen to quote the Blaze, I believe, and it reads, "I can sense right now a rebellion brewing among the United States." This is Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal, where people are ready for a hostile takeover of Washington to preserve the American dream for our children and grandchildren. Jindal's keynote address at the annual conference hosted by Faith and Freedom Coalition accused President Barack Obama and the left of waging wars against religious liberty and education. Jindal emphasized that there was a silent war on religious liberty being fought in the U.S., a country that he said was built on that liberty. And then he goes on to say, "I'm tired of the left. They say they're for tolerance. They say they respect diversity. The reality is this: they respect everybody unless you happen to disagree with them." He said, "The left is trying to silence us, and I'm tired of it, and I won't take it anymore." But going back to the headline, Bill Koenig, people are ready for a hostile takeover of Washington, D.C. First of all, do you agree with that? Secondly, would you see that happening in the near future?
Well, Governor Jindal is a very credible, well-respected governor, a very popular governor there in Louisiana, and those are really strong words. And for the almost month now that I've been in Jerusalem watching the news in the United States on a daily basis and looking at the division over immigration, looking over the fact that Obama had his sixth LGBT month celebration also at the White House, the fact that we had 33 states that said no to same-sex marriage, and Obama and his attorney general and attorney generals and judges throughout the country, state by state by state now, is saying that this is unconstitutional. When you look at the political division in Washington, D.C. between the Republicans and the Democrats, the fact that we have an economy, our federal debt's getting close to $16 trillion, looking at a partisanship like we've never had before. And it goes on and on and on. It's just people are just fed up with this. I mean, Obama's approval rating is at a very significantly low. It's his all-time low, and I understand it's the lowest since World War II. So, and then the only people that have a lower rating than Obama right now is Congress, and people are just fed up. I mean, if you want to know what's wrong with America, go out and talk to them. Americans have a lot better idea of how America ought to be operating than those people that are running our country.